Alright, hello there, and welcome to another Starfield video. So, we got a ship build today, which is nice, because it's been a lot of mods. So, I'm also here with Nolgroth, shipbuilder extraordinaire, and some would say the real Ron Hope Tech. Is it Ron Hope? Yeah, Ron Hope. I would say less asshole Ron Hope, but that's debatable. Anyway, Nolgroth, would you like to introduce yourself a little bit? Obviously, you've been on the channel before, but, just give people a bit of information on your kind of Starfield, what would you say, your credentials? Yeah, there we go.
I don't know if I have that many credentials, but hi everybody, this is Nolgroth. I build ships, I write a blog, and up until a month or so ago, I posted my ships to my blog, and I'm going to get back around to that again real soon now. But you can put a TM after the real soon now.
All right,
But Crimson and I have done collaborations in the past, and we thought this would be a great one to do going forward.
For two reasons. One reason, because I haven't been covering ships in a while, because, yeah. And two, what better way than covering Nolgroth ships, because they're very nice and easy content. No, I'm joking. So we'll start off with, because obviously, you've got the blog, and do you want to shout that out now? But obviously we'll shout it out at the end, but just shout out now for anybody that wants to preemptively type it in.
Okay, that's stupid-fingers.blogspot.com.
Obviously, don't tune off just yet. Open that in a different tab, but stay on the video because we've got an interesting talk ahead. But yeah, so you've got a lot of ships. Obviously, right now we're focusing on the Dependable. Now, this is a ship that you kind of built a while ago, I will say, because I had intended on reviewing it a while. I think it was it just before the June update, I want to say? And then the June update hit, and I think everything went out the wazoo. So
I think it was well before the June update. I think it was sometime in late April, early May that I actually made it. And I'd have to go back actually through the Discord and find out when I posted it. It's been that long ago.
Yeah, no, it has been a bit. I have on the channel, as you can see, I don't post as much ships anymore, but I'm getting back into that, and But anyway, the initial version you showed me was a little bit different because you said it's improved a little bit. So we'll obviously talk about the improvements. But I think the first thing we want to hear is like, where's the kind of the design philosophy come from and the kind of the head canon or lore about it?
Well, first of all, the inspiration is obviously the Stronghold or Highlander class. That is my favorite of the default ships in the game. So I wanted to build something that was like that, but had more cargo focus rather than all those fuel tanks. I still got plenty of fuel on there.
Yes, you do. You do.
But those other two just have like way too much fuel and not enough cargo, in my opinion, at least visually speaking. And so, I took that and my idea of a container ship like we have on the seas right now and kind of threw those together to make the Dependable.
Now, one of the things I will know, and it's kind of, probably one of its biggest features is it has this kind of like split section where you've got like kind of business in the top, party in the bottom. That's not how the analogy goes, but what was kind of the main design behind that? Like, was it a happy accident or like, were you kind of thinking of something in particular?
There's a couple things. One is you and I had a conversation, well, on a couple of occasions where you felt that big ships could only ever be a big block.
That is true. I have said that.
And I was dead set on proving you wrong. So that's
shock.
One of the, hence the asshole part. But that was part of the inspiration. And another part is I just wanted to try something a little bit different. And as I was building it, it started with the two fuel tanks and the reactor and the drive core there. And it just kind of evolved out from there. And when I got to the bottom, the very original version wasn't as wide on the bottom. It was a single narrow strip, which was just all-in-one halves stacked front to back. And again, it evolved, and I added in those. The center section is now just a long hallway, and on one side you have staterooms, and on the other side you have the all-in-one halves.
Now that's the staterooms, because that is we'll talk about that, because one of the things you mentioned too is like this thing, obviously, it's, you know, you said it's based on loosely on the Highlander, and like you want a more cargo. But another thing is, if like kind of the main focus of this bottom deck is it's meant to carry passengers. Is that right?
That is correct.
So, because I know
That
one of the words you were using was that you, me and you were talking about like were inspired by was the ocean liners, I think,
well,
or
I was just inspired by the idea of cargo and um, passenger carriers, and it was, I believe, Mantic who mentioned in one of the chats that it reminded him of the tramp freighters from Southeast Asia. So that's what we're going for. It's a tramp freighter.
okay. And I will say, like, it's a cool like design philosophy because, like, in the Starfield universe, something like this would make sense. Like, obviously, in a lot of science fiction, to my knowledge, like there's either cargo or there's people, you know, it's never both. Now the Expanse is a good example of what done right, because this, to be honest, this looks like a ship you would see navigating the belt, like hauling ice, food, fuel, and also people, you know. Like if you are a captain in Starfield, you know, you take money whatever way, whether that's transporting supplies, food, or people. So real quick, we're just going to go over a few of the stats, and then we're going to go inside and look at it, and then obviously we'll have a breakdown at the end. So I will say if we look at it, as you can see, it's got a lot of fuel, 1,300. I feel like, is that enough fuel to kind of go from point A to point B across the universe, galaxy?
Yeah, when you get your skills up, you need about 350 fuel, and you can go from one point to the other end of the galaxy,
So
or at least the
realistically,
shuttle
if the
system.
game had like a kind of a more elite dangerous fuel system, you could probably make multiple hops without refueling, which I'm assuming that was kind of the, obviously, you know, we know that, like you said, you only need a certain amount of fuel, but this is designed
Right.
more in a kind of a realistic, which is point of view, which
Well,
Starfield currently
yes,
doesn't have that. But that, like, 'cause I can imagine it, like, let's say, taking off New Atlantis, dropping down Gargarin, picking up extra people, going to Seoul, then going to Aquila, you know, stuff like that. Hull
certainly
wise,
designed for the long haul. Yeah.
it is. And hull wise is pretty tanky. Now, obviously, the thing is with the hull is it's usually with C class ships, they get, when they get big enough, they get kind of tanky hull wise. Was the intent to kind of make it kind of defensive? Because obviously we've got weapons, which we'll talk about in a minute. Is it meant to be able to hold its own in a fight if need be, or is it just kind of that was a byproduct of when you make something big, it's gonna
Um,
get?
a little bit of both. I deliberately chose the highest hit point reactor. I threw away 3 points of power for a lot more hull. So I definitely wanted it to be tanky. I armed it, which we'll get to that when you want to,
Mhm.
specifically because I imagine this thing operating not only in the established trade lanes, but out there on the fringe too. So, you know, Varun, pirates, whatever, it can take them.
Because in real life, you know, you see some freighters, they just have little water cannons to kind of deter pirates. This does not have water cannons. But obviously,
Yeah,
we
they're
look at
water.
the
Check it out.
water cannons that have been electrified. But cargo wise, it's got a lot of cargo, 4,800, which some people may say that's not a lot of cargo. But I think me and you both know that, like, when it comes to ships, like, especially nowadays, like, that's a lot of cargo. Like, you could make a ship that could have, what, like 20k cargo, but realistically, I'm actually, now that I'm thinking of it, I don't want to put you on the spot. What ship currently has the most cargo in Starfield Vanilla? It would be
Oh,
something I think it would be up in the 4K range.
yeah, I don't know off the top of my head. I don't even know whether it would be a Stroud Eklund ship or a Hope ship. You'd think Hope,
You
but
would, yeah, you would assume Hope Tech. I want to say it might be one of the silent runners, but anyway, that's not the point. Now, one of the things I noticed, no shielded cargo. Does this thing operate on the good side of the law?
oh yeah, no, you
Okay.
can easily swap those Panoptes things for the shielded Panoptes one at your base. Drop by the Red Mile, pick up a scan jammer, and you're in a smuggling ship. It's just that simple.
All right, so if we look at reactor, like you were saying, you were using is the Pinch Z reactor the one that has the higher
Yeah, you
37?
could highlight it and tell me.
I can highlight it. That is very true. So the pinch 8A reactor, which we'll get to more breakdown in a minute, but that's why we have less power. But as you say, you're going with more
I also
hull,
have, I also have a neutronic fusion, which throws on some power.
some extra,
And
which is so you can mitigate basically the loss of power. We got a
the
crew of
turrets
7.
only require 1 or 2.
That is also very true. Yep, that's one of the benefits of, and it was you and Michael were telling me about that. I did not realize that. Basically, kind of makes turrets the be all end all, in my opinion. Anyway, so crew of 7. Now, obviously, that we're going off of the base game, but if you were in your head, if you were to think like what sort of crew realistically would operate on this, like would it be like a kind of a high level crew, like would it be like 10 plus, or could this be operated as like by a skeleton crew, like maybe pilot, co-pilot?
Well, you got your co-pilot, your pilot, your weapons officer. You'd probably have to have some sort of concierge for the passengers. You'd have to have your engineer, and I would say that the crew there would probably be per shift if it were a realistic
Yeah,
situation. You'd probably end up having to hot bunk or whatever to make it all work. But yeah, I mean, Starfield and crew are kind of
yeah, it
weird
is,
topics.
it is. That's why a lot of the time, like I think when any of us build ships, like obviously there's that crew number, but in our heads we're like, this would be more crew. Now, jump range 27, not too bad. Now, I did notice you didn't go for the bigger C-class jump drive. Was there a reason behind that?
Um, Not really. I just had that one and I was like, 27's enough. It gets me anywhere I need to go.
That's fair, that's fair. Shield-wise, it's got the base shield 1600, but obviously it's boosted because this character. Weapon-wise, we've got 2 sets of particle turrets. We've got my favorite ones. I like those little golden white ones. And then we've got, I'm assuming they're fixed particles to the front.
Fixed particles on the front and then 2 different sets of turreted ones, yes.
Which, like, realistically, like, again, this is where like it kind of like there's the lore point of view versus the realistic point. Like, gameplay, this thing would probably shred anything on any level, but like from a lore point of view, like are the particles just there because they're the best, or did you kind of want this to be kitted well in game?
I wanted it. Okay, when I build ships, I kind of have a concept for what would be a production line model. And then I have the hero ship. And this is the hero ship. I imagine that a production line model would probably substitute all those particles for laser turrets or ballistic turrets or something like that. That's more affordable and economical to throw on there.
Which makes sense. That makes a lot of sense, because again, that's something I've also been toying with. I like the idea of like you're saying, like you have the hero ship, it's like a base model ship that someone takes and we're like, we're going to upgrade it. Now, price wise, it's probably going to run you around probably 700k without perks. Pretty expensive ship. So let's go and let's go take a look at it, shall we? We'll do a quick, I have a button now. Watch this. I press this. This is the right ship. Okay, yeah, haha. And I'm in free cam. I'm going to go the other side.
You go.
I can hear my PC spooling up, so let's hope it doesn't crash. It's a monster of a ship. It looks awesome. I love the color scheme. I think that's one of the things I'm like starting to, because I've been painting a little bit more Warhammer, and I'm like kind of realizing that, like, like color scheme, at least for me, it's like it makes a ship sometimes, Would you agree, or do you think like it's because you do a really good job of coloring your ships?
I think color scheme is absolutely essential. And for this, I wanted to go for that gritty industrial look with a little bit of the yellow, orange caution type thing. And to be fair, that's kind of my default paint scheme. But I really wanted it for this.
We're gonna do a cool little pan underneath. So I love the gap is so cool. I like it. It just we were like talking about this just before the recording, like you were saying, like obviously like the gap is there, for, like you said, you didn't want to make it blocky, but in my head I'm like thinking like the way you have the landing gear on the bottom and you've got those like connections, if something was to happen you could potentially detach the ship and all of your occupants would kind of go one way. Obviously, like you said, that was never the intention. Anyway, we're gonna go inside. I'm excited because the last time I did look at this ship originally when you sent it to me. Hello, Vasco. And you had originally you had it like customized. You decorated. Is this also decorated?
Oh yeah, no,
Perfect.
nothing's changed inside actually from when
Nice.
you last saw it. Well, no, I
Thanks.
think I think that's a lie. I think I've added to it.
Right, so straight away, this is we're at the ground floor here. Ooh, we got a self-click. Nice, nice. Ooh, the computers, because I know you. One of the other ships, I'm pretty sure it was a while ago, but you shared like a screenshot where you inserted these in the, was it the tile cockpit? I
Yep.
think, and it
Yeah, the
just
tile.
completely changed the look. It made it awesome. It's got nice. This is just a one by one. We'll go up in a moment. So this leads to. So this is all the habitat area where the people have their
Yes.
rooms. So
On
you
the
go in
on
here.
the starboard side here are the staterooms, which are essentially captain quarters, empty that I've decorated.
Starboard is right. Okay, yes. So these sides are the cap. Okay, cool, cool. I like it, and they all have the windows, which are really nice. We'll say you did a good job of decorating, because to be honest, it looks the only thing that kind of like would tip off the fact that it's not a custom or like a prefab hab is the rugs. Because I don't know if do any of the habs have rugs, the preset ones.
I don't know. I'd have to go back and look, but I don't think so.
I don't think so, but I like the very nice. We've got a little cooking station. And then the ones on the other side you were saying, these ones, what are these ones? Are these?
These are the third class passengers. They're basically like bunks for multiple people to stack up in here. So, you can't afford a stateroom. You
Yeah, you
can,
can't afford privacy. So you get what you get what you get. I like the couch. It's very like Facebook Marketplace. Just kind of the dynamic, because in here you've got your nice like pristine like white couches,
well,
nice
it ain't
chairs.
a Trident luxury line ship.
Oh, tried wishes. It was. Oh, we got trash
Oh, if I
cans.
could build something like that, I'd love it. But we don't have that kind of stuff
Not
yet.
currently. Mid time maybe. And then are they all like? Is there a little bit of
A little bit of
variety?
a little bit of color difference more than anything. I threw a few individual pieces into different.
I like how the people on this they get like an actual working like kind of TV/monitor, whereas these guys like, all right, you get a oh they get a monitor. Never mind. I was gonna say they get a picture.
Yeah,
They
they
get a
get a
monitor.
picture, but they got a monitor that everybody has to share at that little
It's like
card table.
I don't know if I remember in like hospitals years ago over in Ireland, they're like televisions were like coin operated. You'd like put money in them, which looking back now is a fucking scam. Like I just imagine that like you get like your 15 minutes allotment of time, and then up now it's someone else's turn. I really like these though, because this like the decorating is very daunting to me, just because it's hard to make things look vanilla and good. And when I say vanilla, I don't mean it in a bad way, but because one of the things I've always praised Nolgroth on is making ships that fit into the universe. But you've also made the habs look like base habs, like they look really good.
Thank
Really,
you.
who is this? This is Matt. I don't know you. Oh, I know you. I 100% know you. Yep. That's the woman from Neon, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
not Neon. She's from New Atlantis.
Oh, yeah, yeah. She
And this is the
crazy.
infirmary. I put a little waiting room up front here. You know,
How's what is it we got? Wait, that's your doctor?
no, she just wanders.
Oh, okay. What's the like
She's
what
actually my particle weapons specialist
expert?
is what she
Okay,
is.
nice. Then we got the docking port over here. I love the Hope Tech frontal docking port. And then I will say, I feel like this room probably costs the most, just because you got a nice view of the front to see into space. And then are these coffee machines or what are they? I was gonna say there's
That, that's a coffee machine on the right, and on the
okay.
left is a drink machine. And then I put like a little kitchen thing. I wish we could have smaller kitchenette things
Yes.
like that little
Yeah, I
stove top thing
100%
or a
agree.
tabletop thing would be sufficient. But I
No.
wanted everybody to have a cooking station that had a personal hab, because the other ones have galleys in them,
Yeah. But let me just
which
really
aren't.
quickly show that. This one. Bum, 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 bum. Yeah, there we go. Galley. It took me like several months of reviewing ships to realize you can actually click on them. All right, so we're gonna head to the next one. I love this middle area. Like, I like that you broke up the kind of the rooms with these habs, or these
Well,
the
I did
corridors.
that because the empty habs tend to, well, don't tend to, they do. Every connection point connects. So if you have two by
Oh,
two habs or two by one habs next to each other, and on top of those you have two by one habs, every connection point between the habs connects. So
ah,
you kind of have to break it up by putting things between them
that makes
if you want to
sense.
break it up. It's why those bunk rooms basically are one continuous hab, essentially. You can close the door, but they're
Yeah, they're all
effectively
just
one
yeah.
yeah.
All
And
right,
then they
let's.
all connect to the hallway where I give them the opportunity to connect to the hallway. So
I quite like. All right, let's head to the next floor.
and this
So,
is the reception area here
all
where
right.
people
Oh,
check in.
oh, I
And then
like it.
now this is the general galley slash
Is
mess
this for the
hall.
crew, or is this also for the people staying, like a
It's a
room?
general purpose type of thing. You know, anybody can use it.
We got a little. You can log into your Facebook. Check your emails. And we hit up again. And oh, whoops! I apologize. And this is the is this
Engineering
the
bay.
the, the engineering room?
Yep.
And I will say, I noticed this last time. You added some extra stuff here, which I really like. I'm pretty sure, did you added this in prior to Decorator, didn't you? Did you?
When the decorator came out is when I kind of revised
The layout and stuff.
the layout of everything. When we got the empty halves and the decorator, that's when it went from a single line on the bottom to the two the hallway with the two sides.
Also, I remember I referenced this to him originally, but the fact that you put stuff in here is quite clever, and it just plays into the fact that this being kind of a ship that exists in the universe. If someone was to board it, they'd find some loot. Up another level. Hope Tech Habs are just so nice.
I
Then we
love Hope Tech.
have this is the control station.
Control station on in the middle, and on the right or starboard is the workshop with an additional couple of things in
Oh,
there.
we got the
Like that,
mannequins.
we've got a mannequin. I was going to put another one in there, but ran out of resources and haven't got back to it yet.
Yep. That's why
And I also,
I spawned in a load of resources. I just have them in a crate just for situations. What are you gonna say? Sorry.
I was going to say that I also added that research station there that
Yeah, because for some reason that's
Hope
one of the
Tech doesn't
downfalls.
do.
Yeah, Hope Tech's like, no, we're not gonna do it. And then across here, this looks like a captain. No, this is all in one or living.
All in one.
Oh, it's all in one. Nice.
Yeah, Hope Tech living quarters are basically workout rooms.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I remember that now.
They
Yeah.
do have a bed in them. And in fact, if you wanted to see what they basically look like, that's what the galley slash mess hall is made from, is empty living quarters.
Oh, the
So
one
you basically,
downstairs.
yeah, you
Yeah,
basically take that and throw some weights in it, and you basically got
this one here.
it's got
Yeah,
the
I
pre-knit
remember that now.
room.
Yep. That's one of the. I am curious. Just this is slightly off topic, but the way we have the empty versus the full. Like, do you like that the empty habs still have these kind of the galley and the beds, or
Abs- absolutely,
you prefer
I
them?
love
Yeah,
it.
I'm the same.
The only thing that I would not what I would prefer is if they were completely empty and then you could install those
Yes,
things.
yes. That's something hopefully Bethesda will get to. Just because like even like these, like I know I think you have a mod that makes these one by ones empty. This is not one of them obviously, but it'd be just nice to be able to have these like shelving that you could slap in somewhere. I think we check this one. We'll go to the top. So this is the bridge. What boost pack are you using? Just a normal?
What's that?
Is you using a normal boost pack?
It's balanced.
Oh, it's balanced. Okay, okay. All right, and then this is we have the. Ooh, very nice. Wait, now before I make a mockery of myself, is this custom?
No,
Oh, it's not. Never
That's
mind. I was about to make a mockery. Be like, this is really well decorated.
no, that's not anything I can do. You can't put the posters and well, you can put posters and stuff like, but you can't put like the little kids drawings and stuff like that up
Yeah.
there.
Hopefully one day, Bethesda. Right, and then this is the captain's quarters meant to be, yeah.
Yep.
Nice, nice. Again, like Hope Tech, I know it's just a default hab, nothing special about it, but I love the Hope Tech aesthetic. Like it's like functional over form, function over form. There we go. That's the word. And up we go, and we have probably one of the coolest bridges in the game. Oh, you got a bed up here. Nice, nice. Sometimes you don't trust the crew or not the crew. You don't trust the people you're flying, so you're like, I'm gonna sleep up here.
Well, I figure it's just there for when you're rolling through and you just need to take a nap, en route between places. I consulted with our resident expert on commercial craft, i.e., Mike Freeman, and
Yep.
he said that every ship he's been on has had a bed up in the bridge area for the captain to take a snooze on. So
Because it
that's why
makes
that's
sense
there.
too, just because I feel like from like a psychological point of view, you wouldn't want to see the captain sleeping with the crew, not sleeping with the crew, but like in a separate
Right.
entity. Right, so we're gonna take her off and fly her. I will say, so obviously you went with the Hope Tech and stuff, but with the this being the bridge, like was there ever because obviously I know you love your Hope Tech and you're trying to keep it all. Was there ever like a thought to maybe use the Viking CP bridge? Is it the Vikings? The Stroud ones? Or was
Oh,
this always going to be, the ones that are similar to this bridge, but just more Stroud looking?
oh no, I absolutely dislike Stroud.
Fair, fair. You heard it here. Dislikes Stroud, dislikes Tayo. Man, if
No,
just.
I hate Tayo except for their landing gear.
We're going to take her off. We'll say this ship probably looks awesome. Lifting, yep. Those big, I love those big Hope Tech. Hopefully one day Bethesda retweaks the landing gear so that they can be used as engines, because oh my god, they would be amazing as engines. All right, so nice. So we have 2 pips left over for everything. Oh, okay. She a bit bricky when it comes to or not bricky. I'm assuming you don't fly this in third person.
No, I fly it
Okay,
in first person.
which is fair. Oh, lovely combat test. So, as you see, we've got particle. Have I not locked that? What difficulty are we playing on?
Hard.
Okay, cool. So I shouldn't die.
Should.
Shouldn't being the keyword here. I seen how
Once you
many
are-
ship parts you have. I can click my fingers fast enough. We'll be good. All right,
Yeah.
so as you can see, very capable combat vessel, but it's particles, So we're
Yeah,
gonna.
and again, since I built this vessel, I've been trying to build more with non-particle.
Again, there's nothing wrong with particles. You will. I do have a bit of it, not disdain, but like I've kind of I just
You've
like
particled
more.
out.
Yeah. I used to be like particles. Now I'm like, let's have some lasers and ballistics, okay, guys? Although fuck EMs, I can never get them to work. Anyway, so
Oh, no,
boost
no, I
speed
hate it.
of she's very slow. 420, not bad. I mean, I say she's very slow. It's clearly not meant to be winning any like sprints. And then what do we got?
She's like a
130?
dwarf.
130th. All right. Agility wise, see, the
Yeah,
thing is
don't expect much.
surprisingly not bad given like the size.
I try to
Uh-huh.
keep my mobility somewhere in the 60 to 70 range. I find that works really well for me.
Oh, I've never done this in a ship. I don't have a head. Oh well.
It's the headless pilot.
It looks awesome in its flight mode. I love seeing those wings up. I notice you colored these different, and was that intentional?
Yes, very much so.
Is that supposed to be oxygen?
Oxygen and water.
Ah, I like it. Very clever. It's another reason why I consider
That's what
you.
it's supposed to be. I mean, obviously it adds fuel to
Yeah,
the
but
system.
I like it. I like it.
Headcanon wise, those are there for
It looks
Supplemental life
awesome.
support systems, we'll call it that.
All right, so we're gonna. Oh, whoops! Oh, I pressed the button. We're gonna head back down real quick, and where is it?
The square one. Well, you could do it that way, but
The square one.
yeah, the one above the one you clicked is the actual landing pad. But if you wanted to land on the grass, this is good.
Oh, yeah, that was definitely intentional. All right, we'll be right back though. I'm gonna pause here, and we're gonna break it down, and then. All right, so here we are in the builder. So we've split it into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sections. So it looks daunting, but the split in the middle actually helps with kind of the layout and stuff. So at the top here, we've got our Overseer 300 bridge from Hope Tech, 300 cargo, 2 crew. Underneath that, we have a Hope Tech 2x1 captain's quarters, and then we have a companionway. We have windows on both sides and a window on the back. There. Then we have the Assurance SG 1800, C-Class, 12 power, 16 shields. The front here we have, this is our 2 100G helium-3 tanks, 50 each, but these are meant to be the place of oxygen and water, or oxygen and water. There we go, that way. Got another portal there. And then we've got 2 Hope Tech Risers A with 2 turrets on them, 2 of the 4. I think is there 4 of these ones? There's only 2 of these ones. No, there's 4 of these ones. 4 of these Hope Tech Disruptor 3320s, neutron turrets, B class, 3500 range, 2.5 fire rate, 51.46 hull and shield damage, and 3 power. Second level here, we've got Hope Tech Companionway, we've got a control station 2x1, a workshop 2x1, and an all-in-one berth. And then we've got 2 more risers here and 2 more here. In front of the risers, we've got 2 Nova engine struts, then we've got 2 more behind here. And we've got 2 of the same disruptors on these ones, and then on the sides we've got 2 PB300 Alpha auto turrets, C-Class, 3000 range, 4 fire rate, 39.3 hull and shield damage, and 3 power. And then we've got, how many engines do we have altogether? 1, 2? No, 4. Okay. So we've got 4 Supernova 2100 engines from Relodyne, C-Class, 3 power, 21,120 engine thrust, 70-50 maneuvering. So I will say, why these engines, just out of curiosity? Not that there's anything wrong with these engines, but I'm just curious.
Why the supernovas in general, or those specific ones?
Like these ones in general, like, yeah.
I like the supernovas. It was going to be a toss-up between them and the, I can't remember the manufacturer's name, but the big square ones where you can only have 3 of them that you can get at Neon.
Is it the double ones?
Yeah, they're God, I can't remember is it Panoptes that makes those? No, Panoptes makes the it is Panoptes.
Panoptes, yeah. They look, yeah, I know the ones, yeah.
It was a toss-up between those, but I wanted it to be balanced across, so I wanted 2 on each side. And the reason I don't have the highest level of those yet is when I built this, I didn't have access to them. The character's only 56 now, and that's 10 levels after I built this. So.
That is fair. I didn't notice, to be honest. I completely forgot about the leveling. I think I will say it looks good. I wasn't like kind of, poking a hole in it, because I think these do a good job of being very kind of industrial. Like they look like something that's been around for a while, like easily been in service for a couple of 100 years. Well, maybe not a couple of 100 years, but you know what I mean? Something that Hope Tech would use. Third level of the vessel, which is kind of the coolest level. So we've got our Hope Tech Engineering Bay 3x1. We've got 2 bracers here from Stroud. And you said you hate Stroud. We've got 4 Stroud engine mounts. And then we have our 800T helium-3 tank, 550 fuel here. We've got the Pinch 8A reactor from Xi'an, C-Class, 36 power. This is the one that gives 1950 hull. Excuse me. And then we have the RD3000 Beta Grav Drive from Relodyne, B-Class, 10 power, 36 jump thrust, which gives us 27 layers. Above that, we have a Deimos Spine C. And then we have 1 of 3 PB300 Alpha Beams. These are the fixed weapons. C-Class, 3000 range, 1.5 fire rate, 55.96 hull and shield damage, and 3 power. We finish off this middle with another 800T helium-3 tank. each side of it, these are all parallel. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Nova bracers on each side. The fourth one on each side has the equipment plate with another alpha beam. And then we have 2 Hope Tech bumpers. And then again on each side, we've got 1, 2, 3 Stormax 60 cargo holds, 435 each. And then 1, 2, 3 Panoptes de Gamma 1020 cargo holds, 320 each. So I will say, like, so with the kind of the design, like originally being like with the stronghold and stuff, like this section, like would you say that, like, say, how do I word it? Was there any of the sections of the ship that kind of like you didn't have to modify much? Because obviously, like, you know, you added stuff to it, but like it
no.
still has the shape of kind of the stronghold.
Oh no, I didn't use a stronghold to build this. I
Oh,
used
the
a Varun
the
ship to build this. This is all scratch built.
oh no, I mean,
It's just
I meant what it was based on. You know, like you said, you were basing it on was it the Highlander or the Stronghold?
oh yeah. Well, I was definitely inspired
Or
by those,
Inspired.
but I
That was
did.
the one. Yeah, sorry, Inspired.
But as far as the ship that I used as the donor ship for that, it was a Varun ship.
Ah, okay.
So
Because
yeah,
that was because it has
everything
that
had to be
kind of like look of, you know, like you can tell that it's kind of like when we look at it from a kind of a lore point of view, like it's as if like Hope Tech was to take the line and basically we're gonna, like, you know, modify this and make it more what you've made, a kind of an all-in-one, carries cargo and passengers.
yeah. I mean, that's was the idea. But as far as the ship that I started building on was not the Highlander or the Stronghold. I was using a Varun ship to build from. I just was inspired by the Highlander slash Stronghold and tried to base my design a little bit about around that.
Okay. And then the third level of the vessel here, we've got Hope Tech living quarters, 2x1 empty. 2 more of those engines. We have 2 portholes here, and then we have a Deimos spine F. And then we've got another spine F here. This is kind of the part that sits underneath and connects to the bottom. And then we've got, this is the crew hab area, or not the crew hab,
That's
the
the reception
passenger.
area.
Yep, so we got the reception area. So it's the Hope Tech companionway, 1x1. And then we have a hab spine, and then we have a companionway, and then another hab spine, companionway, hab spine, companionway, hab spine, companionway, all down the middle. Docking port at the end. And then on this side, we have a Hope Tech all-in-one berth, 2x1, empty, another one, all of the, oh no, infirmary, so 3 of these, and then infirmary. And then we have a window here, 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 and here. And then on the other side, we have the Hope Tech captain's quarters empty, Nova Bracer, another captain's quarters empty, Nova Bracer, another captain's quarters empty. I didn't realize, actually, until I'm seeing this now, that you have the bracers blocking them. That's why they don't connect. That's quite clever. And then we have got a porthole there, no porthole this side. We've got 2 more helium-3 tanks there and there. And then we have 2 shroud bracers here and here, connecting to 2 of the 4 Hope Tech Hope 55 landing gear, Hope Tech, 4 thrust each. And then we've got 2 more underneath here. Yep, 2 more there and there. And then we have the bottom level. We have the Hope 4 landing bay. We have 2 320 CB landing gear from Deimos. They gave 3 thrust. We have a Nova Bracer, and then we have 2 Nova, or that was it, yeah, 2 Nova Bracer, or Nova Bracer, and then 2 Stroud Bracer A's. So that is pretty much it. Awesome ship. Nolgroth, as always, phenomenal work. Do you want to really quickly, again, shout out your blog? Because it has a lot of cool content.
Okay, the blog is stupid-fat-fingers.blogspot.com.
All right, and you guys should definitely check that out. We're going to be covering, over the coming weeks, we're going to be covering a good few of the ships on his blog, but he makes so many cool ships. So thank you for joining me, Nolgroth, and letting me showcase your awesome vessel.
Thank you for having me.
And as always, guys, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.